Okay, so this evening we are starting with the Kumi Kreator, which is the bracelet maker, and I have done all but one of my spools, and I want to bring you along with me. And this here is your spool. When you buy your Kumi Kreator, it will come with, I know you can see all these, it'll come with its own colors on the spools, and when you get finished with the spools you can reuse them per se. You can buy this crocheting thread at Walmart. It comes in these big packets. It comes in singles, but you can also get it in the big packets. The big packets are cheaper, so it comes in all these gorgeous colors. I think it's about 10 to 15 bucks, I'm not sure, but I know it's less than 20. Or you can spend the money and get the other Kumi kit that comes with just the spools and believe it's just the spools and the bracelet stuff here for $20. So it's like $19.97 plus tax and all that good stuff. So what I did is I made a bracelet earlier with the Kumi, which is this one here. Here, I'll zoom you in just a little bit so you can see that. Hopefully it will focus. Let's see. I'm not sure if that's focusing in, but anyway, I made one, and this is what it looks like when you make it with the Kumi. Okay, and when I got done, I made another one using the regular Walmart thread, which is this one here. Let's see, I'm not sure if that one's going to focus. That color looks weird, but anyway, it's garnet and gold. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to focus back or... So I'll just go ahead and zoom you guys back out so you can see everything that I'm doing. So anyway, this is what this one looks like. And then I just went ahead and redid one because I wanted to do a bigger one, and because I'm going to use this for something else. And I actually... I'll show you as I wrap it around. I don't know if it's going to focus until I'm done. So it's actually quite long. And this one you can see, I hope you can tell. I'm trying to put my hands behind it so that it'll focus in on that instead of, so I'm not sure, but it looks like twisted rope. So we'll go back down some so that the light hits it. Okay, so it looks like twisted rope. So I've actually kind of undone some of it here because I didn't need all that. So, and that one is called Luxe. So that's the style called Luxe. Alright, so what I'm doing this time is this one here. And I don't know if you guys are going to be upside down, but to me it's upside down. So this one is actually called Bell. Okay, so you can see where the colors are supposed to be at. And you want to make sure that you can see on here that these two are empty. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but they're empty. So you always want to start out with these two pieces here being empty so you know where your placement goes. The X's obviously don't get anything, so we'll leave that one there. Okay, like I said, I did all of them except for one, which I want to bring you guys with me. So we're going to do this here. So what I did is I took one of the spools and I pulled the thread off of it. So basically I'm just lining it up, measuring it out. Let's see here. Measure it out. Now when you do this, know that your design is going to come out way thinner. So your bracelet's going to come out thinner than what it would with the actual string that comes with the Kumi Kreator, because obviously it's a little bit thinner. Okay, so if you're going to rethread yours and reuse them, I'm hoping I'm on camera here. Okay, so you're going to want to hold a piece over the edge, and you'll see in here there's like a little groove. I don't know if you can see how well you can see that, but there's a little groove. You want to get in that groove. You can see it now with the string being in there, and you want to go around it twice. So pretty much that's kind of like your little bobbin, and that's going to hold it. Now you're going to take this and you're going to come around and just, you know, fill it in. Just fill it in. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just fill it in until you get to the end and leave you some off of here. Okay, so you want to leave you like a little tail. You want to leave that tail because when you get here, let me move this over a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so, and like I have a crochet needle. I think it's a 2.25 crocheting needle, and that's because I have fat fingers and they don't fit in these little kid size holes. Okay, so you want to take, and I'm hoping you can see this here. Okay, so I'll turn it up on its side so you can see it. Okay, there's this little thing in here and it has a hole at the top. So what you want to do is you want to push this thing on here when it snaps. Okay, so you heard it snap. You want everything to be coming out of your Kumi, your little crafting things here. So when you put your spools on, you want to make sure that your thread comes out so that it comes off per se to, what is it, to the right. So all of them should be, all of your threads should be to the right of that hole. Okay, so if you put them on here and you turn all your little spools to the outside, everything should be coming off. Let me get back over here. Should be coming off so that it's this way. Okay, so that it's coming off and hanging to the right side of each of these little spool lines. Okay, so now on to the next step. Getting your lines in so that you can start. Now, like I said, these threads are shy of being this thick. So this is actually like paracord type without the white cord on the inside. So they have actually taken and melted down the ends of these to give them a stop. So when you put it in this little thing here on the front, it actually will hold it and stop because it's thicker. So what I have found out, and when you load this, you're going to pull your cord. Okay, you're going to pull your string, and you're going to go between this. Here, let me lift this up because you can't see me. Okay, so you have this thing here, and you're going to pull it up in between here, and you're going to go behind this. Now, don't worry about how long this is right now, because I'll show you how to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull them all, and I'm going to place them in, and we're going to go clockwise. So you want all your strings to be clockwise, and you want them to be lined up clockwise. Okay, so make sure that you're going inside the blue loop, and you're coming clockwise, going in the blue, and going into your stopper here. Okay, so you're going in and behind there. Now, I hope you can see this, because to me that little itty bitty screen up there does not. Alright, so let's put this down here. Okay, now you see I have Scotch tape sitting over here. And the reason that I have Scotch tape is because of this. When you bring these forward, okay, I'm going to show you here. When you bring these forward, everybody is at the wrong length. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Because what you're going to do is you're going to hold these up here, and we're going to go through each one. Oh, see, I missed one. So all I have to do is pull these back out. So see, everybody's not perfect. So I'm going to put this back in here, and then I'm going to replace all of my strings just like this. And it's kind of quick. So we're going to go here, go behind, grab the next color, which is my red, and I'm going to go in and go behind, and then my blue, go in and go behind, and then I'm going to do it all over again. I'm going to pull everybody forward and make sure, and I want to make sure that everybody is in their spot. Okay, so now that we have everybody forward, you can take, because your spools are turned backwards, so you can actually turn them clockwise and tighten your string. And you want to put your finger here and bring them down just to your fingertip. So you want to bring them just at your fingertip. That's as short as you want it. So you're going to bring it as short as your fingertip. So you just wind it clockwise, tighten up your strings, and go clockwise. And this is pretty fast when you get the hang of it. Okay, so you're just going to go clockwise and pull them tight. Now see what I'm talking about? Okay, so change hands and get over here and pull this one, and we'll find this one and pull it clockwise and turn the blue and tighten it up, turning clockwise to wind it back onto the spools. Okay, there. Now we have that spot. Now, because I said that these threads are shorter, well, thinner, okay, so they are thinner, what you need is you're going to need a piece of tape. What I did is I just took my tape and laid it right on my threads. You see that? I laid it right on my thread. See that? And then fold it over, because you need it to hold your threads, to keep your threads from pretty much sliding out. Okay, so this is going to be pretty much, say, are burnt in, like they have it. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to cut off the excess here on the sides, and I'll show you why. Okay, so we're going to cut this down. Okay, so there we have that. So now that that's cut off, okay, the reason that you needed that cut down is for this reason here. This has to fit into this little area. That's as big as your ledge is. That's all the room that they give you to hold these. Okay, so that's all you need. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, and what I did is I just folded it over. So I'm not cutting, I'm using it to fold the tape. That's all I'm doing. So I'm using that to hold the tape, so that whenever I bring this over, because as soon as you lock this in place, it's going to release from the base. Okay, so when you do this, you'll see that it's going to lift up. You see how it pulled tight on these, and it pulled this one right out of socket here. Okay, so there we have that. Now that released, and we're going to move this over to the side so you can see better. Okay, now this is not a slow process. This is a, you got to be with it, fast moving. But this string is thinner, and I can't stress that enough. So this is actually thinner. So when you start doing this with this kind of thread, you want to hold it down to get your stitch tight. So instead of this pulling up on everything and stretching it out and making it look like a rope, you're going to hold it together for this one and make it a tighter look. So it's going to give it a tighter look instead of a stretched out look. So you actually have to hold this one in place, and let's do this. Okay, so like I said, this is a fast-paced process, so let's get to it. Okay, so I'm pushing back down. You can see I'm pushing back down, and it tells you on here which way to turn. Now you're going to see these little bobbins, you're going to start going all over the place. Alright, so when you do this and it starts grabbing, you're going to go. So this is how fast it's going. Now when you get a little bit in there, you want to release it. Okay? Now I'm going to bring you down so you can see exactly what I mean when I say it's going to go, and it's going to go fast. So see that little bit, and you have to hold it down. You got to really hold it in there. Okay? So that's what I mean. And that's going to give you that look. Let's see. See if it'll focus in on there. Okay, so there's your design there. Okay, you have to disregard my background back there. So that's what you're going for. Okay, now every time you stop this, you see how these here are very, very loose. You want to take and tighten those up, because if you don't, you're going to wind up with like bulges and very, very sloppy looking design. Okay, so let me put you guys back up here and make sure that I have you completely on there, because I'd hate to drop this camera. Okay, so now like I said, when you stop, you want to make sure you retighten these. So you want to reach in here and you want to tighten that down, because you don't want a sloppy look to your bracelets. Okay, so now that we have stopped, we're going to slightly pull it back down. You're not all the way down, because it's not going to catch, but just slightly take it back down a little bit, and then you can keep going. And as you keep going and you see it, you can just release it as you go up. You can release this. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. Okay, and what I mean is when you're spinning, you want to give it just a little bit of play so that this comes out tight, because you don't, like I said, you don't want it looking sloppy. You want a really tight looking bracelet. Okay, so if you were using the cord that came with it, you wouldn't have to do this. Okay, because that cord is made for being stretched, or the design is made for being stretched out. So just slightly hold it down and spin. And if you stop with these in the middle, like this, if you stop with these in the middle, make sure that you turn it so that you can get your fingers in there, and you want to tighten it up. You see how I'm turning it backwards? To me it's backwards, so it's kind of like counterclockwise, or pretty much you're just putting the thread back on the spool. Okay, so that's all I'm doing, is tightening those up, because they're in the middle and they need to be, they need to go back tight, because like I said, you don't want a sloppy look. So let me finish with this and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so now that I have finished with this, alright, so let me move up here just a little bit more. So what I did is I went ahead and made a long bracelet. Okay, so once it gets to a certain point, it will come off, and some pieces will be shorter than others. So that's when you want to stop and say, okay, this is where I need to stop. And eventually it's going to start looking sloppy. You can see here I'm pulling out this piece because I believe it is, yep, it's the shortest. So what I'm going to do, and now see I have all this that's still like not braided or not twisted, but I'm not going to throw this away, because I will actually use this at, I will cut this here and I will make something else out of it. Now this is not going as a bracelet. These are going for other items. So as you can see, this is what happens when you replace, and it looks good. I like the way that this looks, because It's got that red twist going on, and then it's got the little bumpy whites in there. So I'm glad I did 2 whites instead of just 1. So like I said, what I did is I actually took this pattern here and I replaced, instead of doing 4 of the pink, I did